Yeah, I made this title and thumbnail to piss off a small portion of the male population. Jokes aside, these are effective yet unethical ways to get women. I've seen a lot of men use certain tactics and tricks that may either be deemed by society or by me to be straight unethical. And I'll be giving you a scale from 5 to 10 on how unethical it is and how much I have a distaste for that. Most of these, honestly, I don't like. They do work, don't get me wrong, they do work. However, I think either, again, ethically or intelligence-wise, I think they're stupid. And I'll be going down the line of each and explaining why I may or may not like them or why I may not even find them unethical. Honestly, personally, I'm a big love bug. I don't like anything that hurts other people. So I will be scaling these from 5 to 10. Closer to 10, the more unethical, the more likely I am to fucking hate it. And if I find one of you guys doing one of these things that is unethical, you guys want to try to come to me trying to brag about it, it's not going to work out well for you. Here's the thing. There's a lot of men in modern society who are not doing good at this, who don't take the advice that I give, this advice being super niche yet effective, that don't understand that they can improve with women outside of being shitbags. These men won't admit to doing these tactics, though they are very clearly doing this. I also have some strategies I've seen over the course of years of being a dating coach, a men's dating coach, and quote, pickup artist, where I've seen some men do some pretty wily shit. And again, if I deem it unethical or overly so, I'll let you know. Though there are some strategies in this video that are very effective that I don't think are unethical. I think it's more of a societal misinterpretation of the situation. Most people in my niche would like to shy away from these, pretending that everything in dating is very Disney, very cookie cutter, very rainbows and butterflies, but that's not the case. However, there are a lot of strategies out there that are effective, yet terrible. So in this video, I'd like to uncover those with the hopes of possibly uncovering some of them and making them obsolete, and or probably giving you guys some strategies you guys can use to improve your dating experience. I'm going to be rating each tactic on a scale of 5 to 10. Obviously not below 5, because anything below 5 wouldn't be unethical. Anything above 5 is some form of unethical, either from me or from society. With that being said, let's get into the video. I'm going to give you guys a couple of really quick ones that I've known. These ones are either clearly straight illegal or messed up, and that's actually why I'm not including them in the top 9. Anything that is illegal, please, for the love of God, don't fucking do it. You'd have to be straight dumb to do these, honestly. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of dating coaches do these. As a guy who came to this industry, doe-eyed, not doing that great with women, being starstruck by these individuals, I was very flabbergasted that some of them were doing these strategies. So the first one, actually, I've had a few dating coaches try to take girls off of me with this. Trying to offer girls drugs. Trying to offer them snow to hopefully get the girl to get off of me and go on to him. There were a couple of coaches that I actually looked up to that did just this to me here in Vegas. And or having drugs back at their place so they can use that as a reason for the girls to come to their place with the intentions of hopefully having sex with them. This is absolutely fucking unethical. I don't suggest you do this. Not suggest? No, fuck suggest. Don't fucking do it. Why did I say even suggest? Don't fucking do it. This is going to get you guys in trouble, 1. And 2, if you have any form of human empathy, you don't do this. I've also known some guys over the past 14 years of me going out approaching women to do some really heinous stuff, such as destroying women's property so they can sleep with them. I knew this one guy who fished this girl's phone out of her back pocket because her friends were texting her trying to, in his words, cock block him, and threw it in a bush with zero remorse. Again, destroying a girl's property, destroying anybody's stuff, stealing somebody's stuff in order to get sex. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. That's fucked up. Now let's get into the actual list. Again, anything illegal, don't do. Anything that's going to harm anybody else, don't fucking do. Don't do. Number 1, passport bros. Again, I think this one actually is more societal than anything else. It's the idea that men are preying on women in other countries. But my 2 cents is, if the women are into the guys and they're enjoying the experience with the man that they decide to date, or they get some kind of transactional offer on the opposite side, I don't see a problem with it. Well, I do see a problem with it, but it's not an ethical reason, but I'll get into that in a quick second. A lot of Australians come to America and women love Australians, right? They love the accent. I believe there is a portion of this involved in Americans being attractive in other countries. However, there is also the dream, the doe-eyed dream of getting out of second or third world country to a first world country. Now, again, I don't see the problem with this as mainstream society sees a problem with this. The problem I see is that you guys decide, instead of becoming better men, a more valuable proposition to a woman, instead you guys would rather be a big fish in a small pond picking up on guppies, but the second you bring them back to America where there's fucking sharks, guys who are actually cool, guys who've actually worked on themselves, what do you think your girl's gonna fucking do? Do you think she's gonna stick with you once she gets the desired effect of now being in a first world country? Or is she gonna ditch you for another guy? And I can say this from being around my friends who are pretty fucking killer. I don't like your chances. If you're being a passport bro because you don't feel like you're getting the desired effect with women in America, you shouldn't be surprised when you come back to America with this girl and having guys that are actually cool taking her away from you. If you guys want true results, you guys have to become something different. Quit trying to avoid this. Quit trying to stay the same. Evolve, please. Passport bros, I give honestly a 5 out of 10 because I personally don't see any ethical reasons. Even if I don't see an ethical problem with being a passport bro, I know that mainstream society, especially women, see an unethical side to being a passport bro. Porn house or setting up a situation where women live with you with the intention of grooming them. Now, I give this a 9 out of 10 on the unethical scale. It's an effective strategy, but don't fucking do it. This is another one of the ones that if you're somebody who wants to do this or does do this, don't talk to me about it. I don't want to know you. I don't want you being in my vicinity. This is not a great thing to do. It's very manipulative. You are involving this girl's money in regards to also trying to use it to leverage it to get her to like you. You're putting her in situations where she hopefully sleeps with you. And I've had a lot of situations with this in Vegas where I've had guys who I meet girls out and about and the girls are with some kind of celebrity where he pays them to be his assistants with the intention of grooming them and hopefully being able to have sex with them one day. Or even worse, a porn house where he needs assistants, again, which he moves into his place and then starts slowly grooming them, bringing them to parties on the weekends, hopefully where they get drunk. Again, this is a situation that's very prolific in Vegas, and I imagine other cities, and it's disgusting. It's legitimately straight disgusting. The guys that do this are fucking the worst, most foul human beings I've ever met in my life. I've known quite a few. All of them are terrible people. Number 3, picking up girls at your work, either as a coworker or a boss. Now, again, I don't really give this too much of an ethical lean because I see why guys do this. And again, I see that society thinks it's very unethical. A boss is coercing a girl into being in a relationship, but girls are not dumb. Girls are not nearly that stupid. I don't know why society continues to talk to girls like they're dumb. My 2 cents is if a girl is sexually attracted and into a guy or is, for whatever reason, there's a value proposition between the guy and the girl. Ultimately, though, if the guy is actually trying to manipulate the girl by saying, hey, if you want your job, you have to fuck me, that is fucked up. That's messed up. But if it's not that situation, which it rarely is, then I don't see a problem with it. My problem with it is that as a man, there's a lot of other ways that I've taught on this channel to pick up girls. Outside your job, where you're not messing with your money and women. You should separate those 2 things because if you do decide to date a girl at work, it's obviously and clearly going to fuck with your money. If there's any kind of infighting between you 2, it's going to fuck you up. So if you're somebody who's an avid viewer of this channel, you should know better than try to pick up girls at work. Number 4, again, this is actually something that I find is very low tier on the unethical scale, but it's something that I know society would probably have an issue with. Setting up parties through using dating apps. I know a lot of guys who do this out in Europe, and it's a killer strategy. You have to have some money to do it because what they do is they set up multiple phone numbers, they hire VAs to run these, and they create Tinder and Bubble accounts specifically to promote a party. Obviously, they're getting taken down, they're getting reported, but they keep posting them up, and eventually they get a party that is an 8-2 to a 7-3 girl-to-guy ratio. Now, girls don't judge and gauge your value or your attraction in a vacuum. They compare us to each other. And there's no competition at a party where there's a lot more girls than there are a lot more guys. The girls are going to find you a lot more attractive than they would in a scenario where there's a lot more men. So these guys purposely set up environments where the girls are more attracted to them. Now, unlike the other 2 strategies previous, I don't really see too much of a problem with it. I don't see a problem ethically or game-wise. As long as you're somebody who's working on himself and is not taking an easy road out, which this is clearly not an easy road. There's a lot of work that is put into creating these kind of parties. I don't see a problem with it. Number 5, leveraging fame. And this is something I've seen from a lot of very famous dating coaches, where they claim all their success is from their game or from their charisma or what the fuck ever, but I know them personally or I've met them or I know guys who know them and they're leveraging fame for sex with women. So these women are having sex with these guys for the hopes of becoming famous one day. And then they try to promote to their clientele base that all they have to do is take on these strategies when their actual true strategy is just become famous. Just become famous. And I don't think that's a viable strategy for men that are watching a channel who are doing an everyday mundane job. Your goal is not to become famous. Your goal is to make money and survive, get by. Maybe you're hustling in your own individual way, but you don't care to become famous. So it's a one-dimensional strategy that has no applicability to you. That's why I personally find it unethical. I don't think it's ethical for the simple reason that, one, the girls are fucking them to, not because they like the gentleman in front of them, but because they hope to get famous. And then they spin around on their YouTube channel that the reason that they get all these girls is because they have mad game. Not to pull back the curtain on this, but these guys don't have mad game. These girls are fucking them because they're famous. Number 6, and it's something I've seen a lot of guys who are successful, who are older gentlemen do, but become a girl's mentor. Become mentor to a lot of very attractive women. I've had a lot of mentors over the course of years. I'm 32 now. I've had probably a dozen different mentors. And for every one of my mentors, I had to hustle my ass off to prove my worthiness to that individual. I had to work my ass off. But then you'll see attractive girls getting mentors because they're so charismatic, because they're so amazing and so inherently talented without working for it. Then the girls are surprised when the guy takes them out on a trip to the Bahamas for a business trip to learn some new trick or tactic or sales tactic. And then, oh my God, we're in the same fucking room. And the guy obviously tries to sleep with them. Now, I give this an 8 out of 10 on the unethical scale. I think anybody that does this is a fucking loser. I think anybody that does this is a loser. If you're somebody who watches this channel and does this, you're a loser, like legitimately. You didn't work on yourself. And instead, you try to trick women into bed to like fucking you. Not a big fan of that. Number 7, get a boat. So you've probably seen this a lot in Miami or major cities where guys get yachts or big boats and they start inviting a lot of Instagram models onto the boat for photography reasons, right? Do you think the guy's doing this for altruistic reasons, or do you think he's doing trying to sleep with the girls? I think we both know the answer.
Why in the hell do you think we just spent all that money on a boat? The whole purpose of buying the boat in the first place was to get the ladies nice and tipsy topside so we can take them to a nice, comfortable place below deck and, they can't refuse because of the implication.
Oh, okay. You had me going there for the first part. The second half kind of threw me.
Well, dude, think about it. She's out in the middle of nowhere with some dude she barely knows. She looks around her. What does she see? Nothing but open ocean. There's nowhere for me to run. What am I going to do? Say no?
Okay, that seems really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not going to say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Now, I give this a 7 out of 10 on the unethical scale. To be fair, for me personally, I think it'd be a lot of fun just to have a boat and bring out my friends and some cute girls and stuff like that. But the underlying intention of me bringing out people on a boat wouldn't be to sleep with girls. It'd be to have fun. And I know that's kind of a really hard concept to understand for a lot of you guys who are very thirsty for women. The guys I generally see on these boats, the ones that I've been on or I've seen on Instagram from some of my friends, are, generally speaking, very creepy individuals. Number 8, get a table and get a girl guy. Let me explain. So in a club, obviously guys get a table to show off status or to show off some kind of accomplishment of sorts of money, because tables are expensive. In Vegas, they can be upwards of $10,000, $20,000. And why would an individual who makes a lot of money get a table? More likely than not, he's getting a table to get women. Now, I personally don't see a problem with this because the intention is actually very clear and very obvious. A lot of guys are getting tables to get women. The clubs know this too. Do you know how I know the clubs know this? Because they hire gentlemen like me, the girl guy. A gentleman who's called a girl guy gets girls for the table. His job is to go socialize, make friends with females, go talk to women, pull them into the table, get the table loaded with women. I got paid for a number of years before this YouTube channel popped off to grab girls for tables for rich guys, and they paid me a lot of money to do it. And to me, it's less unethical than most of the ones on here, but from my perspective, I believe it's ethical because you're still providing the girls a lot of value, and the intention is very clear. There's no hidden intention behind a table. The table is to get girls. The club, the individual, and the girls going to this table know this as well, whether they're willing to be honest with themselves or not. It's very clear intentions. Number 9, and surprisingly, in my opinion, the most random out of this list, falsifying any story, anything that you think you can use to get the girl. Most guys try this strategy, especially when they first start in game, to try to get women. And you find very fast it doesn't work. Mainly because you guys are terrible liars, and women are incredibly good at reading social cues. Way better than we are as men. Honestly, that's why I always push authenticity and becoming the type of guy, the valuable individual that girls obviously want to go for. You're a clear value proposition for a girl. You have a lot to give her. You are somebody's masculine, cool, authentic, fun. A lot of men initially try to fake this. And I thought of a lot of strategies around faking it just because I am such a nerd around seduction and game, because I'm a men's dating coach and I am a nerd. So I obviously have thought this through in so many different directions. One of the things I think would be beneficial and actually would work would be accents. If you're somebody who's maybe faking an Australian accent in America, women would go for you. Women would be more likely to go after you because you come across exotic. But lo and behold, when the girl finds out you're not actually Australian, try keeping that girl around afterwards. See what happens. Will the girl still like you? If you spent all these months practicing an Australian accent to nail it, and then you finally get laid and the girl finds out, hey, he's not actually Australian, do you think she's going to stick around? Of course not. That's why I always promote authenticity on this channel. There's no longevity in faking anything. I can see this video honestly having a lot of probability of being misinterpreted by people who just click on it and click off. But the ones that I said are unethical, please for love of God, don't do it. This is more like a case study for me. I like thinking about this stuff. I'm more somebody who's a scientist at heart. I'm an engineer. I love thinking about this stuff in so many different ways. From my perspective of attraction, how could I technically, if I didn't care about ethics, get a girl? Unfortunately, I'm a hyper empathetic person who cares a lot about women's experience in life. And I care a lot about the people I'm talking to. And that's why, honestly, people trust me. That's why people like me. Not because I'm a shitbag. If you think that being a dirtbag is going to get you the results you want, you need to grow up. Sometime midsummer, I'll be putting up my e-product. I have yet to name it. It's a full comprehensive guide on how to improve with women as fast as humanly possible from all angles. Dating apps, social circle, cold approach, lifestyle. I cover it all. And if you guys are interested in coaching now, I do both online and in-person coaching. Just text me at 702-841-9909. And with that being said, peace.